To my trans and gender non-conforming family and our allies, sometimes struggle feels like destiny, but that's just the brain treating a prolonged period of uncertainty as a permanent state. That's how human prediction systems work when they don't have enough recent evidence of safety or payoff. The brain starts converting "this has been true for a while" into "this is forever." It's not insight, it's a malfunction in forecasting under stress. There's nothing mystical or fated about your struggles or setbacks. These aren't signs that you've missed your path or you're being punished. That fate feeling happens when a nervous system has been carrying too much load without a stabilizing element for a long stretch. The brain loses the ability to imagine alternatives, and that inability gets misinterpreted as destiny. Your brain also doesn't attach the same weight to things that contradict the doom. It downgrades small wins and positive events, not because those things don't matter, but because under threat, the brain filters for survival variables only. Money, shelter, future, safety, everything else gets treated as cosmetic or temporary, and that filtering creates the feeling that nothing counts unless it solves everything at once. Destiny is a story your mind is using to make sense of the discomfort. The reality is more boring and more flexible. Brains under long-term uncertainty predict negative permanence, and when someone gets a stabilizer, the brain recalibrates fast. People often think that the new stability created the new optimism, but the truth is, optimism was there all along, just inaccessible until the system stopped scanning for danger. Optimism is a default trait of an inclusive mind because the perspective to accept what's other than you is a form of optimism. You aren't cursed or past your window or being shown a forecast from the universe. You're inside a standard human response to prolonged uncertainty. It only feels fated because the brain doesn't show alternative futures when it doesn't trust the present. The moment your mind spends 5 minutes not forecasting, hope flickers back in, and that could be in a good conversation, a kind stranger, a task that pulls you into flow, a human smile that lands, a gig that feels aligned, a creative spark, a walk where your senses settle. Your life is not defined by scarcity. Your life is still unfolding, still building, still becoming. Nothing about your current state is final. You're allowed to trust this chapter as a bridge, not a destiny, and to believe opportunities can appear suddenly without warning. You're allowed to let hope exist, even if your mind tries to shut the door. You're not done or falling. You're moving slowly and steadily toward a life that fits you in ways you cannot imagine. There's people who will see the brilliance you have trouble seeing in yourself. Doors that will open because of the smallest choices you make now. And through all of this, you are held by something larger than the noise in your mind, and you can breathe into this truth until it becomes familiar. You are authentic and beautifully made. You're allowed to want more, to crave touch and safety. Your rights are not defined by other humans, but by your presence and the forces of the universe inside your heart and your mind. No one gets to take away your right to joy and peace. I love you. I choose you. I love me and choose me. Stay in the boat.